High Point strikes first on an RBI single by Daniel Milwee. And UNCG coming up the bat down 1-0. They will face the right-hander out of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, Harrison Smith. Take a look at his stats on the screen. This is his first start with the Panthers. Transfer from USC Lancaster. Was also on the roster for the South Carolina Gamecocks a couple years ago, but he never appeared in the game. So Smith continuing his warm-up pitches, and let's take a look at the lineup card from UNCG sixth-season manager, head coach Link Jarrett. And this is a very potent lineup, Phil. Second in the nation in batting average at .341. Austin Embler back in the lineup. He'll lead things off. Also watch out for Cesar Trejo, who was batting over .500 entering the previous weekend, but still batting at an impressive .476 clip. And Jake Cush has power at the bottom part of the lineup.
Well, if Harrison Smith will ever get tested, it will be today, and we'll see what Craig Cozart can get out of the young right-hander. And as we said, a UNCG lineup that rarely gives you breaks on the mound, as they'll have a chance here in the bottom of the first.
And Austin Embler will lead things off against Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith has made 6 appearances out of the pen. Again, this is his first career start. Redshirt sophomore from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. It's located right outside of Charleston. So here's Austin Embler back in the lineup after he missed Sunday's game. And the first pitch of the second baseman's a called strike, 0-1. Embler took a ground ball to the face off the second base bag in the second part of a doubleheader against VMI on Friday. 0-1 is up high for a ball, 1-1, and the ball appeared to cut him in the lip. So it's good to see him back in the lineup today, as that was not a good-looking play there, Phil.
And Link Jarrett had to shuffle around his defensive alignment to finish that game.
And Embler hits this one in the air to deep right field. Going back is Jackson. Looking up. It's out of here. Back in the lineup, Austin Embler collects his first home run of the season to tie the game at 1.
What a way to come back, and what a way to lead off. Ties the game with one swing of the bat. That a way to set the table for your team.
So Embler increases his hit streak to 21 games thanks to that home run. And the Spartans tie the game just like that. Caleb Webster will step up to the plate. Webster starting at third this evening like he usually does, and he watches a pitch for a strike, 0-1. Webster hit a home run himself on Friday night. It was a walk-off 3-run homer. Also his first of the season. And he hits this one in the air to left field. That'll drop in for a hit. Well, the Spartans in business here in the bottom of the first. A leadoff home run by Embler, and Webster aboard with a single.
Webster, now that was his 103rd at-bat, Paul. He'd only struck out, talk about a contact hitter, he'd only struck out 7 times and only walked 4 times. So you talk about pure contact. Webster maybe as good as anybody in the league.
Impressive stat right there, Phil, and even more impressive, he's on base once again to improve his average, and now here comes Andrew Moritz. Number 3 hitter in the lineup, and he watches a pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Moritz, a junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, where he attended Providence High School. He is originally from the gateway to the west, St. Louis, Missouri. 1-0. Low again, ball 2. Webster 4 for 4 on stolen base attempts. He's over at first. Spencer Brown behind the plate for High Point will get you that defensive alignment after this at bat. Brown has thrown out just 1 out of 6 would-be base stealers this season. The 2-0. Taken for a ball. And Moritz ahead in the count, 3-0.
We talked about Mayhew needing to settle down. He was able to get those 2 strikeouts before allowing that run. Certainly feel like the same for Harrison Smith. And this is his first ever start in a High Point uniform. Just continue to try to throw your best pitches and not get ahead of yourself.
And Moritz takes all the way on that pitch, 3-1. Moritz batted .375 in February. He's done even better in March, batting .446. Been a remarkable hitter in the 3 spot for UNCG. The 3-1, swing and a miss. That tied him up in knots A pitch that tailed in and the count full.
If there's anybody that can coach up pitchers, it is Craig Cozart. He is a pitcher's coach, to say the least. He has a way of molding young talent into very, very good arms.
Throw to first. And back in safely is Webster, and a good example of that, the closer for the Cleveland Indians, Cody Allen, who pitched one season at High Point. Payoff pitch, runner goes, fouled off. We'll do it again at 3-2.
Paulie's had 32 pitchers drafted under his tutelage, has Craig Cozart, of course, in his time at UCF. Played there, was ultimately drafted, but passed up the opportunity to play pro ball and has become one of the best managers, best head coaches in the Big South.
Count full. Runner at first. They'll throw to first. And Webster just in safely. And Cozart's done a terrific job. Now a decade with the Panthers, as they've continued to rack up winning seasons. 4 in a row for them. Runner goes in the payoff pitch once again, and protecting the plate Moritz with another foul ball. So we'll do it again at 3-2. Game tied at 1 after the solo shot by Austin Embler. Another throw to first. Webster slides back in safely.
Another solid weekend, Paul, for Moritz at the plate against VMI. Multiple hits in all 3 games versus the Keydets. Just consistency up and down this batting order for Link Jarrett.
He was 6 of 13 in that series with 4 RBI. Runner goes again. This one's hit in the air. Deep left field. Back is Sargent at the wall. He reaches up, makes the catch. And tagging back towards first base is Caleb Webster. Well, he gave that a ride, but a nice job by Sargent to track it down, and the first out in the bottom half of this first inning.
That had to make Harrison Smith's stomach drop a little bit. Not too far away from giving up his second home run of the inning, but not quite enough to get out of this big ballpark.
And there was a quick look at the defensive alignment. Saw Jordan Sargent make that catch. Also, watch out for Austin Zenny, solid in center field, does not have an error this season. Another throw over to first. Webster back in safely, and Dylan Stewart at the plate. Cleanup batter for the Spartans in left field this evening. Redshirt senior from Coates, North Carolina. First pitch to him. Up high for a ball, 1-0. Coates located about midway between Raleigh and Fayetteville. Dylan Stewart bouncing from UNCG to JUCO and back to UNCG in his career. And he watches a pitch low, 2-0.
That was a nice breaking ball. Fell out of the strike zone, but that had some serious action. If Smith can throw that for a strike, that could be something he could go to throughout this game.
He threw that pitch to Moritz on a 3-1 in the previous at bat, and Moritz whiffed on it completely. 2-0. And that nudges the strike zone, 2-1. That was the pitch that had really tied Moritz around in the fist, but Stewart wasn't biting that time. Count now 2-1. Webster at first, tie game here in the bottom of the first. The pitch, and that's hit in the air to left field. Back is Sargent at the track at the wall, looks up, it's out of here. Dylan Stewart with a 2-run homer, his 6th of the season, and UNCG takes a 3-1 lead.
That was a breaking ball that looked like it hung, Paul, and Stewart made him pay for it.
Well, UNCG with a pair of lawn balls here in this first inning, as their offense has put up 3 runs. And now it doesn't get any easier as the team leader in batting average steps up to the plate, Cesar Trejo.
Next up, the right fielder, number 24, Cesar
You make a
Trejo.
mistake against this lineup, you are going to pay for it. And that looked like a breaking ball that didn't break that much.
That breaking ball tails away from Trejo in the count 1-0. So Stewart with his 6th home run of the year, now up to 19 RBI. There's Trejo's stats on the screen. and he watches a pitch low. 2-0. Trejo, up until last weekend, was one of 4 players in the country with a 500 or better batting average, but struggled a little bit in the VMI series, but still has that very Spartan batting average, no pun intended. And the count outside, or ball outside, make it 3-0.
And his 20-game hitting streak snapped on Sunday, but still having a remarkable start to 2018.
Takes all the way on the 3-0 for the first strike. Trejo from Greensboro. He went to Ragsdale High School in Jamestown. 3-1, taken for ball 4. So Trejo draws a 1-out walk, and Ryan Clinch, the catcher, will step up to the plate.
Now batting the catcher, number 7.
So right now, Harrison Smith laboring a little bit for High Point, having given up the 2 home runs after being spotted a 1-0 lead. And Clinch will dig in. Clinch, the one-time East Carolina Pirate, another team that wears purple. First pitch to him is taken for a strike, 0-1.
Well, Smith has shown the ability to have some nice movement on his pitches and throw him for strikes, but what you don't want him to lose confidence in that breaking ball that when effective can be a good pitch. Just because you've been homered off of it doesn't mean you can completely get away from it and not toss it anymore.
Trejo dives back to the bag. Most stolen bases on the team with 11 for Trejo. And another throw to first. Trejo slides back in safely, and you alluded to the home runs. That's been a bit of an issue for Smith this year. He's now given up 6 home runs in 10 1/3 innings. So far, 2 round trippers for the Spartans in this first inning. 0-1 to Clinch. Breaking ball, that's poured in for a strike. Smith gets ahead of the batter, 0-2.
You watch a guy like Smith, and you hope that he can keep the ball down and induce some ground balls. You know UNCG is going to connect on those, get some base hits out of them, but hopefully can translate some of those into some ground ball outs.
The only out was a lawn fly ball by Moritz to left field. Very easily could be 3 home runs for the Spartans right now. 0-2. Breaking ball misses, runner win. Here's the throw over to second, not in time. Throw is a little bit wide of the bag and had to be pulled in. If that had gone to the other side of the bag, Trejo might have been caught stealing for the first time this year. Instead, it's his 12th swipe of the year.
That was still a pretty nice throw by Spencer Brown on the breaking ball home. You're right, Paul. If that's thrown on the other side of the bag, Trejo may not make it.
So Trejo moves into scoring position. Smith still ahead of the batter, Clinch 1-2. The pitch. And a called strike. Breaking ball. Clinch thought that was a little bit too low. Nice job by Brown to frame it. And there's the first strikeout for Smith, second out of the inning.
Paul, I think Brown was set up on the inside portion, and that ball came to the other side of the plate. Maybe surprised his catcher a little bit, but still good enough for home plate umpire Stephen Ammons.
So with 2 out, here comes Trip Shelton. You're certainly right about that, but it was a good job by Brown to sell it. Try and keep that glove in there and able to get that strikeout call. So here's Trip Shelton, starting shortstop for UNCG. His team up by 2 in the bottom of the first. Throw to second, and Trejo just gets in there safely. A little bit delayed after that move by Smith. Tag just missed. Shelton, a senior from Winston-Salem. Attended the same high school as UNCG starting pitcher Jake Mayhew, West Forsyth. First pitch to Shelton. And a breaking ball in the outer half for a strike, 0-1. So, Phil, as you said, we've seen the breaking ball quite a bit. Still not afraid to go to it, even though he's given up the long ball a couple times.
That's good to see.
Oh, 0-1 the count. The pitch to Shelton. Ground ball hit over the head of the first baseman and into right for a base hit. Trejo rounds third. He'll score without a throw. It's an RBI single for Trip Shelton, and the Spartans lead at 4-1.
Nice piece of hitting by Shelton, chopping it over the first baseman's head, taking it opposite field, stayed back on the baseball, didn't try to pull it. Good job by Shelton to increase the Spartan lead.
Shelton's 15th RBI of the season, and the Spartans will bring up their 8th batter to the plate in Josh Madole. Madole, a freshman from Hampstead, North Carolina. Bit of a cold streak lately, just 2 of his last 18. And breaking ball is well outside for a ball. 1-0. On deck should the inning continue, the DH Jake Kush. Shelton at first, 5 of 5 in stolen base attempts this season. And he's back in safely, and this is a UNCG team that's very aggressive on the base paths. Already have a stolen base from Trejo, which was their 50th of the year as a team. They're in the top 10 in the nation in that category. The 1-0 is fastball right down the middle, a delayed steal, a throw over to second, and that's in time. The shortstop Dunbar applying the tag. It's a caught stealing 2-6, but UNCG with 4 runs in the first inning thanks to a pair of home runs, and after an inning of play, it's UNCG 4, High Point 1. Back after this.
Bottom of the first for the Spartans.